first things first, let's jump into clickbait news. And this little bit of sad news that came out not too long ago before we started recording tonight. And it's the death of Kamala, which is very sad news. Tommy, what's Kamala's real name?
James Harris.
And yeah, so unfortunately he passed away earlier today. And Tommy, I asked you earlier to check up on, was there any specific cause or reasoning for his death?
No, there hasn't been a cause of his death. It hasn't been not known yet.
But apparently he's had some long health issues.
He was battling, he had diabetes, and he recently
Real bad.
Yeah, he had his foot amputated years back. So
yeah, and
both of his legs from the knees down.
Really?
Right, that's what I heard.
No.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately passed away at the age of 70 years old. And so, yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends. Very sad news. And for all of us, we definitely grew up watching Kamala over the years.
And his manager, Kimchi.
Yeah. So, Richard, just your initial thoughts on hearing the passing of Kamala and just any particular favorite moments, matches of him from over the years?
Oh, it sucks because he's one of those guys that is a lot bigger than you would think he is. Matches, I would say there's a cage match with him and Andre before Andre's knees and back went really bad. That's a bloodbath and it's just brutal.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Other than that, I would say, it was kind of fun to see him come back and wrestle Randy Orton when he was doing the Legend Killer thing originally, but
yeah.
I think probably my favorite would be Undertaker and Kamala, the casket match.
Yeah.
Just because of how well Kamala sold being terrified of the casket.
That's right. Okay, I'm just thinking about that. For me personally, I geeked out when he joined the Dungeon of Doom back in the mid-90s in WCW.
Yeah.
Just because, as you said, that match with Undertaker, that was early 90s. And I know originally he got his start in WWF in the mid to late 80s, had his initial run there, and then his stuff in the early 90s with the company, and then he went away for a while, and then he returned to WCW and was part of Kevin Sullivan's faction, the Dungeon of Doom, taking on Hulk Hogan. And when
Is it cool to like them now?
Who,
is
Dungeon
it
of Doom?
okay to like? Yeah, it's okay to like them now, right?
I always did.
Mm-hmm.
I was a WCW fan at that time and loved watching. And just now looking back on it, I get it why the Dungeon of Doom was created. It was just to build up a faction of all these mythical, magical monsters taking on Hulk Hogan.
They're all badasses. It's like I've always heard the internet not like that group, but it's I don't know. I like everyone in it. I liked the Zodiac and the Shark. Earthquake is my favorite super heavyweight. So
yeah,
it's it's not that bad. And Haku's in there.
Yeah, it was a great fun faction. I get it. They're all there just to, as Kevin Sullivan's done in shoot interviews, was just to put over Hogan.
And Tiny Zeus Lister was in it for a bit as the gangster.
Yeah. And remember, was it the three steel
I take
cages?
back everything I said.
But I remember, was it World War III or whatever that paper?
No, it was uncensored.
Uncensored, where they had the three stacked cages, steel cages, and Hogan, and then we're going
Randy Savage.
We're going up each layer in a different set of monsters, like a video game.
They had to battle the Dungeon of Doom and the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, I dude, that's part of my childhood. I'm sure if we watch it now, we laugh and how bad it was. But like I said, that was our childhood. I didn't know any better, so I would just watch it for what it was and just had a lot of entertainment from that. But just seeing Kamala there, I didn't realize he was older at that point, and so his prime years were more in the 80s. But nonetheless, just seeing him, I was like, oh, wow, there he is. It's Kamala, just the guy we saw when I was younger. And so for someone who had an awesome gimmick, he was very fun, entertaining to watch, but also, very intimidating as well. So it was a lot of Kamala. Definitely was one of the great characters of back in the day. But Tommy, you're telling me a little bit about his history. Where did he really got started at?
Really, he got his big start probably in Mid-South in the early 80s for Bill Watts. And also, he split time between Mid-South as well as World Class Championship Wrestling for Fritz von Erich.
Awesome.
I know. I was just watching a match of his against David Von Erich.
Nice. So that's very cool. So no, he's definitely had a long history in the wrestling business. And for anyone,
6'7".
What?
6'7". How tall are you?
I'm 6'4". 6'5" on a good day.
So you'd be looking up at him.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And plus, he was one of the long list of wrestlers that body slammed Andre the Giant. He did it in Mid-South back in '82, I believe.
What? Before Hogan? I thought Hogan was the first one.
No.
That's
It
how
didn't happen, bro.
WWE's history would tell you.
Yeah.
Hogan was the first one to do it.
Oh, yeah.
But even though didn't Hogan originally body slam Andre the Giant like way back in the day?
Well, in
the early 80s?
like 1980. And
Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium. As well as in Japan, New Japan.
Yeah. So, but no, for Kamala specifically, he was always fun to watch. He was a great character.
Great gimmick.
Yeah, great gimmick. And then even Tommy, you were telling me earlier, there for any of you toy collectors out there. I was loving it in the belly.
Belly flat.
But for everyone out there, you toy collectors specifically, or figure collectors, I should say.
Yeah.
His Hasbro action figure is probably the most expensive or
the rarest one
out there.
Because rumor has it that the Moonbelly version of the Kamala wrestling figure is so rare that Hasbro only produced 24 of them total.
Wow.
It's somewhat of a mystery why the rest of the Kamala figures were produced, with with a star on his belly instead of the trademark moon design. But some believe due to legal issue revolving around Kamala's rights to the Moonbelly design.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha. So it sounds like there's two versions of the Hasbro action figure of Kamala. One, the one they made more of was the one with the star on it.
Correct.
The rare one is the one with the moon, but that's actually more authentic to his real life look. The gimmick with the moon on his belly.
Exactly.
So yeah, for anyone out there who has that, please hold on to that. I'm sure that's increased in value as well. So, but yeah, once again, R.I.P. to Kamala. Thank you for all your years of service in the pro wrestling industry and entertaining all of us for years. So it's very sad to see him go, but I'm sure he's in a much better place now.